My name is Maéve Taylor and I'm the principal at Thurston Community College. I've been here for the last year. The school itself has been here for 51 years. It was built in 1973, so it's just celebrated its half century, and it serves a really large rural community, lots of villages in the heart of Suffolk. Thurston Community College started using EDClass in the last couple of years, and that was particularly because we felt after COVID, I think like a lot of schools, that there were some students who were struggling to return to full-time education. So it was particularly identified as an opportunity to work with students who struggle to attend school, whether that might be through anxiety or illness, and trying to find a solution. I think where we have found as a college that EDClass has been most successful is for students with long-term absenteeism. So that might be students who've suffered anxiety about attending school, and I think that where we have felt EDClass has been really successful is supporting children. They get to know the platform really well and find their way around negotiating it, and often are online and learning for a number of hours a week. Having an online platform which children can access from home if they're unable to attend school, knowing that there is DfE accreditation, for example, is really helpful, because you can be confident that that work is helping them to make the progress, is pitched at the right level, it's supportive of children with special educational needs. What we have found is that this is more successful for some students with some long-term needs because it reduces staff workload, because the work is provided, and from our point of view it's been positive around the impact on not needing to ask staff to provide something and then monitor where students are up to and keep ensuring that the work is ongoing. But actually to provide a really core, high-quality curriculum has been really beneficial for our students. So one example of a student who's engaged really well is a student in Year 9, a student who has additional needs and some medical issues which meant that attending school has been really difficult. They've been engaging with EDClass on average 12 hours a week, and what we have seen there is that they have really benefited from that learning. They have been able to make progress, and we've been able to see them making progress through core subjects particularly, but also in a wider range, which has kept them really engaged as they've moved through to be making option choices for GCSE. And what we know from them and their parents is that they have a sense of achievement in what they've been doing, and of course that's really important. The regular meetings and the review meetings have been really beneficial. It allows us to track what our students are doing. What's also been really useful for us is to find out where we could use EDClass better. We're now looking at a way in which we can introduce it in a more integrated way into learning at school. So we have some students who, for whatever reason, might be in our reflection room, which is perhaps about regulating emotions or struggling with a school day. If we can do that and integrate it into a planned programme, perhaps where students have gaps in learning and that might lead to some of the frustration in lessons, then we've got a really positive way to move through and use it even more effectively. So those review meetings have allowed us to identify a gap where EDClass can help us to meet it, and then we can move forward with that. So we're really excited about how we can do that in the future. One of the key areas that staff and students and their families have reflected upon is how EDClass can really give the students a sense of achievement and accomplishment. So reviewing their progress through a school day or even over a period of time. So achievement and recognition of their effort and their progress is really important to young people, especially those who've struggled, whether they have additional needs or just become perhaps a bit disengaged with school learning. And I think that has been a real strength that we have noticed and our students have appreciated. I would recommend EDClass to other schools. I think that it is a platform which allows staff and families a little bit of freedom in what they can use it for. I think that knowing that it can be used to support long-term and short-term needs of students, both with learning at home and also in a school environment, is really powerful. And I've certainly spoken with other colleagues that I work with in order to talk about how we have used it and where it's been successful and where they might want to investigate that too.